Good evening and welcome back to my show. I'm indeed very delighted with all the kind of progression that my session takes on, and I'm really grateful to your kind time and participation given to this extent. Today, I'm going to discuss about adjectives, how it adds detail, how it adds vividness, and how it adds emphasis in a particular sentence. Adjectives are very important, particularly in the context of modifying a noun or in fact describing a noun. It's very important. In most of the expressive words, you'll find adjective to be occupying a very predominant position. Adjectives are ones that add a lot of impetus to your sentence. It makes it more aesthetic, and it also makes it more colorful, vivid, and also it conveys the meaning in a very robust manner. So it's better that always we keep emphasis on, keep using adjectives whenever that we are using, whenever we are speaking and would want to create an impact in our speech. First and foremost thing that an adjective does, it enhances description. It enhances description. Adjectives provide vivid descriptions that help paint a clearer picture and engage the listener's imagination. It engages the listener's imagination by providing a very engaging description. That is one thing that we'll have to keep in mind. I'm reading it out so that I don't miss out any point. And moreover, I would want you to listen and also very carefully learn. Listening, active listening, engaged listening is something that takes you to the next level of communication. So that's why I'm using it. A fine example to it, the majestic mountains stretched across the horizon. The majestic mountains stretched across the horizon is a very fine description for adjectives that enhance description. Second point is expressing emotions. Adjectives allow speakers to convey emotions more effectively, adding depth and authenticity to their expressions. It adds depth and authenticity to expressions. Example, I felt overwhelmed by their generosity. I felt overwhelmed by their generosity. The third description is providing clarity. Adjectives clarify and specify nouns, ensuring that the listener understands the speaker's intended meaning. So if the speaker has to convey the intended meaning, and if the listener has to understand it, it has to be clear, and adjectives provide clarity in this direction. She wore a bright red dress. She wore a bright red dress. It provides a very clear description. It's about a dress. It's a bright red dress, and she wore a bright red dress. It's clear here. It's again used to create atmosphere. Adjectives set the tone and atmosphere of a conversation or story, evoking particular moods or feelings. It creates an atmosphere, a particular mood or a feeling. For example, the peaceful countryside was a welcome retreat. It sets a mood. It sets the mood, the atmosphere. It's peaceful. It's a welcome retreat. It sets a very clear imagination, a mood, a feeling, and also it clearly describes the atmosphere. Fifth, it is used to highlighting importance. Adjectives emphasize the significance of certain aspects or objects, drawing attention to them. Example, it was a critical moment in our negotiations. So it is highlighting importance. A critical moment in our negotiation highlights the importance of the particular sentence. It also helps in adding precision. Adjectives add precision. Precision in the sense it's to the point, it's clear cut. Right? It adds precision to language by distinguishing between similar nouns or situations. It distinguishes between similar nouns or situations. She received a small portion of cake. Sorry. He received a small portion of the cake. It's very precise. She received a small portion of the cake. Cake, small portion, she. Very clear, not a problem. It's very precise. rather than she received a cake. It is what amount and how much did she receive, and what did she receive, who received, and how much she received. Making comparisons. Adjectives facilitate comparisons by indicating degrees of qualities or characteristics. She received a small push. Sorry about that. This phone is more advanced than the previous model. So indicating differences, degrees of qualities or characteristics. More advanced. It's making comparison. Adjectives are used in creating interest. Adjectives make language more interesting and engaging by adding variety and color to speech. It adds variety and color to speech. He told a fascinating story about his travels. So it adds a lot of interesting situation. It's about travel. It's about a story that he's narrating about the travel. And the story was fascinating. So it adds a lot of richness, a lot of interest. It creates a lot of interest. Adjectives are used in boosting persuasiveness. It's used to convince, persuade people. Adjectives can enhance persuasion by making arguments or proposals more compelling and appealing. For example, investing in renewable energy is vital for our future. So it is trying to persuade. It says that it's vital. Investing in renewable energy is vital for our future. So it is trying to persuade by using the word vital for our future. It carries a lot of meaning. It's very important. It's very crucial. Adjectives are used in personalizing communication. Adjectives allow speakers to personalize their communication by expressing their unique perspectiveness, experiences, and preferences. Example, I prefer spicy food over bland dishes. It is very personalized here. I prefer. Someone might prefer something else, but I prefer spicy food over bland dishes. Enriches language. Of course, by doing this, by playing this function, by taking part in this kind of construction, it enriches languages, adds depth to expression, and enhances the effectiveness of communication by providing clarity, emphasis, and emotional resonance. So in a way, adjectives are very, very crucial for our communication. It adds vividness, it adds richness, it carries a lot of flavor, it gives the language the beauty, and it makes it very, very important and vital. It does a lot of function like placing an emphasis, by developing clarity, by creating a personalized message. It has a lot of functions to play, and it's always better that we keep this in mind, that adjectives plays a very, very crucial role. It can also be playing a very destructive role. We can call names by using adjectives, but we are not going to do that in this instance. Stay tuned. Thank you very much. And in our next episode, we'll discuss about power words. We have discussed about expressive words, adjectives. We'll talk about power words that could be used to make a very impactful communication that which reflects our communicative intelligence. Thank you very much. Stay tuned.